What's up, guys? Welcome back. So I get asked this question all the time, and it's, Brad, do you have so many finance apps and investing apps just because you're on YouTube and you promote them? And full disclosure, the reason I have so many, that's partially true. I definitely wanted more apps, but not so I could promote them so much, but so I could give you guys valuable information. And in turn, in doing so, I've actually kept them. And I use a ton of different personal finance apps. And I think there's this misconception that you need to be dialed into just one app. You need to be either all in on Robinhood or all in here or all in there. It's not like that. So I kind of want to give the reasons why I use multiple personal finance apps. I'm going to talk about the ones that I do use, as well as touch upon some of the ones I don't use that, being in this industry and having, a lot of personal finance friends, I've definitely got some pros and cons of other apps. So I'll be able to give my take on those, because I don't really want to talk about things I don't have personal experience in, but I do want to reference the fact that there are other options outside of the ones that I use that are probably really, really awesome. And I hope that the comments section will kind of help me out with this. If I don't use one and I mention one, hopefully you guys can give some feedback to, add even more value to this video. So the first investing app I ever had that I still have on my phone today is Acorns. And I remember when I first heard about Acorns, back in the day, Bank of America, I think, they would take your money, and every time you use your debit card, they'd round up to the nearest dollar, and they would take that money and they put it in a savings account for you. It's kind of like automatically save. If you got $1.50 worth of gas, they would take 50 cents, round it up to $2, and throw that in a savings account. Well, that's essentially what Acorns does. Every time you use your card, they round it up for you, they take that money, and they invest it for you. Now, I don't think it's a great investing app. You don't buy stocks. They give you certain thresholds of risk. They say, are you low risk? You want high risk? Things like that. But if you are somebody that doesn't want to download an app, or you don't want to buy stocks, and you don't really want to use a savings account with your bank, it could be a good option. Like I said, I never deleted it from my phone. I don't have anything against them. I have no reason not to trust them or anything like that. The first stock trading app that I ever got was Robinhood. And Robinhood has gone through its ups and its downs. But at the end of the day, its user interface and how easy it is to use is probably one of its criticisms towards beginners. But like I said, I've really liked it. There's been times where I've been pissed off at them, but I don't think there's any real company that I use on a day-to-day basis that I haven't really been angry with. I mean, I pretty much hate my bank Chase once a month. So they haven't really done anything to screw me over, and I know they've done bad by people, and I don't hold a ton of money in them. I don't have a huge amount of trust in their platform, but I do like their user interface for certain things, okay? And not having any fees is one thing, but primarily, all I'm using Robinhood for right now is trading options. Their options chain is really easy to understand. It's very easy to buy to close. They give you a good amount of information. They have certain levels so that you know where you should be. If you lie about your levels and you're like, I want to do spread, so I'm just going to put in option 3 levels, that's on you. But they do a pretty good job of informing you. And like I said, I don't buy stocks with them. I pretty much just trade options. My stocks I save for other things. But yeah, Robinhood is great for beginners. It really is. It was the first one, kind of like the OG in investing apps as far as apps are concerned. And like I said, I don't really have anything that against them. I know people can get in the comments and talk about horror stories, but I tend to be a positive person, and I think you can have the negatives in all different types of apps. And that's it. Just options for me there. Just options. Now, the first real app that I got because of YouTube, and it was kind of when Robinhood was screwing around and everyone was angry, and I was like, I got to find something else to talk about, or let's try and give some people a new option if they've gotten burned by Robinhood. And that was really the real reason I got into Webull. And at first, Webull, guys, it's overwhelming. And I still understand that to this day, and I know it kind of pushes beginners away. It's not really geared to the beginner. I'll fully admit that. Some other huge cons that I do not like about Webull is that it takes forever for money to clear. In Robinhood, you get instant deposits up to $1,000 or something like that. I love that. It's part of the reason too. If I want to make a deal, I know I could throw $500 in Robinhood and it's there instantly. Webull, you wait forever. You wait forever for money to come in. You wait forever to sales to clear that you could take your money out. It's a huge con for me when it comes to Webull, but if you are past the beginner stage and you want more analytics and things like that, it is very good on that front. Webull's a lot more data driven and stuff, and I tend to find myself going other places for that data. Even I think out of all the apps that I've used, Webull is pretty much the lowest on my list, but they also treat their people really well. Like, you sign up, you get free stocks. And a lot of these apps, you can go in and at least take advantage of that and try it out. And I guess that's the point of the video. You should try certain things out, try apps, because I know people that dove into Webull and just loved it. I mean, it just wasn't for me. So you have to find the one that's good for you, not the one that's good for your friends and that you're trying to fit in with, right? So if you're into like data and you like charts and you're a data nerd, you know, you can get in there. They also, another con, they limit their options a little bit, so you can't do spreads and things like that. But that's more for the beginner side. But I do use it, not a lot, not a ton, right? I think I would probably steer people in other directions away from it, if I'm going to be honest. The next app that I ever tried was Cash App. And this was when I was starting to get into, you know, crypto and buying Bitcoin. And I heard all these things about how the fees for trading Bitcoin are just really, really expensive. And the number one thing I kept hearing was Cash App. You can buy and sell crypto, no fees, you know, Cash App, Cash App. I got into it. I bought a little bit of crypto through it. And then I was like, all right, let me try the investing side of it. Guys, I hated it. So many limitations. They don't have a ton of stocks. I really only used it for a month. Maybe I didn't give it enough time, but I also changed my crypto over to Coinbase. So really, Cash App, I didn't really need it. Even for peer-to-peer, I think Venmo's still far superior on a peer-to-peer money exchange kind of app. So I did try Cash App. I just didn't like it because of its limitations. Maybe it has some room to grow. And if it grows, maybe I'll try and go back to it. But there was no like outstanding pros that I couldn't get in another app. Like if I'm going to use that app for a specific reason, like I said, I use Robinhood for the specific reason of how easy it is to trade options on there. I can't get that anywhere else, right? I'll go into Webull because it has really great analytics, but I don't really use it. So it needs to have a specific pro that stands out among all the other ones for me to use it on a continuous basis. And Cash App just didn't have that. So about the same time that I got Webull, when everyone was like hating on Robinhood and I was like looking for other options, I opened an M1 Finance account. I've actually had an M1 Finance account for a long time, never got into it. When I first went into it, I hated the pie thing. I'm like, this is effing ridiculous. Like, stupid pies. I don't want to make pies inside slices. Maybe it was I just didn't have any like room to learn new things, or I was just such a Robinhood kind of guy that I just pushed it aside. And then the other thing that I saw about it was that you could only buy once a day. So on M1 Finance, they only trade once a day, twice if you are part of their their membership program where you pay monthly. But all of their trades are executed at 7:30 in the morning, and that's it. And I remember thinking to myself, what do you mean? Like it's noon, and I hear something's going on with Apple. I can't just go in and buy Apple at noon. And the answer to that was no, and I just pushed it aside. And it wasn't until I started like opening my eyes and like listening to the pros and cons that about a month ago I actually gave it a real shot. And some of those reasons were like, it's not designed for day trading or buying stocks. It's not impulsive. And that's one of the things I like about it. If you are a beginner, right, and you're buying stocks, you're doing your due diligence. So when you're ready to buy a stock, it shouldn't matter what time of the day you buy that. So you make your decision, you buy it, and then you get it the next day. You're going to buy it for the long term. It's freaking great. And I think I will end up doing like a video specifically about M1 Finance because it's almost becoming one of my favorite trading apps. Once you get through that like 45 minutes of like figuring out the pie and the slice thing, I am a percentage guy. You guys hear me say all the times like 75% of my investments are in index funds and 10% are speculative. You hear me say that all the time. And it's amazing to know. I think the first time I used it was I set up my index fund chart pie or slice, and then I picked my growth slice, and then I picked my dividend slice. And I was like, all right, let's put $250 in. I woke up the next morning. It made 35 different buys at the percentages that I want to, set it and forget it. And it was all off by like 0.1%. My mind was blown. Not only that, but you can have it go into buying power if you want to hold cash. You could put it into custodial accounts. They have all these things that they're doing. And I kind of like mad at myself that I hated on them for so long. Like I said, full video coming, because the two things that I hated most about it, I hear over and over again. That was, like I said, that trading was only once a day and the slice thing. Then I realized why they do that. Like, so you're not going to make impulsive moves, and that you could set things and just boom, have your certain percentages. I flipped the script, and now it's one of the things I love. So look for a video coming up on M1 Finance. Now, I do want to talk about 3 more apps that I've not used, but I hear people talking about all the time. And this, guys, where you can help me. Get down in the comments. If you use one of these 3 apps, let me know. Also, guys, with the comments, you know there's spammers out there using my name. My name will be highlighted in dark. I'm never going to ask you about WhatsApp, anything like that. It's a shame that YouTube is making us say things like this, but guys, I'm not going to ask you for money or tell you, like, I'm not an investor. So please watch out for those comments. But leave me a comment about one of these 3 apps. The first app that I hear people talk about all the time is the Stash app. And I kind of looked at them a while ago. I was thinking about jumping in, but I saw that they had like a membership program. Like you have certain tiers of memberships that allow you to do certain things. And you can't just go on and just invest for free. I know like the cheapest one is like $1 a month or something. And like I said, I could be wrong. Let me know. But just that kind of turned me off a little bit. There's so many other options out there for free. Why would I pay? Is it that good of an app that it's worth paying over all of the other free apps that I just chose? I don't know. And like I said, when I read out it, maybe I have to go back and look, but that just turned me off. So if you are a Stash user, let me know why you're paying every single month to use them as opposed to using a free app. Another one I hear trickling into the mix is SoFi Invest. And for me, I used to have SoFi through my student loans. They did my student loans. And I will say this, I did have an incredible experience with them as far as my student loans were concerned. But to me, they'll always just be a lender. They started off as a lender, student loan lender. Yes, they've gone into mortgages and expand, but essentially to me, they're just like a bank. Like they just loan money out. And for the same reasons that I don't put my retirement into insurance companies, right? I put them in financial institutions. I just don't like, it doesn't sit well with me that SoFi is now an investing app, is now a brokerage when they're really just a loan company. So I haven't really done any research about it. I don't know that much. And I've talked to people that have kind of said the same thing for me, like SoFi, isn't that the student loan company? Why am I going to be investing with them? So if you use SoFi Invest and it's better than any of the ones I've talked about, please get down in the comments, let me know. But I have heard about it. And I did have a great experience with my student loan. If you need a student loan, I highly recommend them. They were great, low rates. They even gave me a fun box of confetti when I paid off my loans, but I'm not really ready to invest with them. And the last app I want to talk about quick is Public. I believe Public started as Matador, which they were around in the very, very early days. And Public is one of the ones I think if I'm going to jump into a new one, I'll probably do it. My good buddy JJ Buckner has been using Public. He loves it. It has some great features. It's great for beginners. I really like the social aspect that they have inside Public, right? Their name is Public and there's forums and things where you can go in and discuss, and they kind of make it a little bit like social media-esque, which kind of like is the one thing that's kind of pushing me away, but also drawing me to. Like one of the other great things I love about M1 Finance is you can publicly post your pie and your portfolio. And as an influencer, I can let people see that, where I can't really do that with the other apps. And I think sometimes it's great to be inside that brokerage app and be able to ask direct questions to other people using it, as opposed to having to go out and read a blog or listen to a guy like me. So I actually am kind of on board with them, and I might be expanding in, but still, like I said, I don't know. Maybe that social media aspect in those forums is that one thing that sets them apart from the rest that I was talking about before. If I'm going to be using something, I want to be using it specifically for one feature that they offer. And that feature I have not seen in any other investing apps, so that might be the thing that really draws them in. I know JJ really wants me to give it a try. When I do, I'll probably use his link because, like I said, when you use our links, guys, you get stuff. It's good stuff, but I don't know. Tell me about Public. If you've been using them, I know a lot of people went there last month with the whole Robinhood GameStop debacle, and everybody left Robinhood. I know that was a big one. So I'm interested and curious to hear what your experience with Public has been so far. And am I holding out too long? Should I jump in? Should I get down? And I don't know. You guys tell me. At the end of the day, guys, you have to use the one that works best for you. If I'm looking at it, I'm talking to my friends. At this point in the game, you should have fractional shares. I probably won't trade on anything that does not have fractional shares. That's another thing I do not like about Webull. So you got to have fractional shares. If you want to buy Amazon and you only want to put $25 in Amazon, you have to be an app that has fractional shares, in my opinion. You have to have commission-free trading at this point. There is no sense in paying for anything to make commission trades anymore, even on options. I know the big brokerages are still charging for options. If you are paying commissions and fees on trading options, you can do that in other places. So when you're looking at apps, guys, make sure that you're not paying to buy and sell stocks. At this point in 2021, we should not be doing that. And last, remember that you can change. You can be a Robinhood fanboy today, and you could take your money out and move it to a different one. So try different things, shop around, try different apps, throw $100 in here, throw $100 in there. You will find one that you like, that you feel comfortable with, and that's the one you'll roll with. And then maybe you'll be like me and you'll have a bunch of different ones and you'll use them all for the specific features that they have that other apps do not have. Guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you found some value, please give it a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what apps are your favorite. And until I see you on the next one, guys, stay positive. Work really, really hard. Always, please, I beg you, just be kind to other people. I hope you have yourself an amazing day and even better tomorrow.